Question number 4, Jacinda Ardern.
Mr. Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Social Development. Does she stand by her statement that, quote, "You need to look at the 16 and 17-year-olds, and for the very first time our focus is keenly going on them"?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr. Speaker, yes, and that's why we are making significant changes to ensure that we are focused on getting more 16 and 17-year-olds into education, training or work-based learning and not going on to a benefit.
Jacinda Ardern.
Can she, supplementary to the Minister, can she genuinely maintain she has a keen focus on young people when school leavers with no plans have stepped into a black hole, given she has shut down youth transition services and the replacement services have had their start date changed by her yet again and won't be opening their doors until at least the end of August?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr. Speaker, I believe those services are continuing to work with those young people, so they are getting those level of services. But on the 20th of August, that will be changing.
Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary to the Minister, is it acceptable for her to tell youth services to continue operating when they haven't got a contract with MSD, when many schools still don't know the information they're meant to be providing to them, and the legislation underpinning the whole thing, including privacy issues, still hasn't been passed?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Speaker, I have a number of good news for that member. The legislation will be passed this afternoon, so that's going well and all on track. And then we have a notice period where we are going to those young people, making sure they know what's happening. But the other part of it is that schools aren't actually providing that information directly. It's coming from the National Office with Enrol, so it's quite straightforward to us to be extracting that information that we need and to be using it accordingly.
Jacinda Ardern.
To the Minister, is she asking youth services to operate without a contract and without a mandate?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr. Speaker, it's quite common for contracts to roll over and continue on. So that is what happens quite often. There is often a gap between what was going to be an end date and then a new date. That happened under Labor, it's happening under National. It's quite normal for it to happen, and that's what's happening in this instance.
Jacinda Ardern.
Supplementary to the Minister, does her keen focus include her staff instructing youth services that no matter what, they cannot refer young people to work and income, when some youth services are meant to now service these needs with just one office, few experienced staff, and are covering geographic areas equivalent to half the South Island?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Speaker, as we go through the transition, we're going to have work and income staff actually in those offices, so they won't have to actually refer them there. They'll have a staff member on site that will be able to work with them. So we're obviously conscious of what the changes are that are coming up, what needs to be done. We're working closely with them. The feedback I'm getting is how positive it is and how much they're looking forward to the work that is going on.
Question number 5, Mike Sabin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.